Poetry writing for kids. Topic 10. Writing an elegy. A poem can be a collection of words that expresses feelings or ideas, sometimes with a specific meaning, sound, or rhythm. An elegy is a serious reflection. In English literature, it is often a lament or a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. If you do not want to hear about these things, please skip to the structure of an elegy. The word elegy comes from the Greek word elegus, which means a song of bereavement. It is usually sung with a musical instrument called a flute. An elegy sometimes has a pessimistic tone or a monumentalizing tone. The Greek term elegia originally referred to any term related to the subject matter of death, love, and war. Elegy poems do not follow a specific rhyme structure, but often rhyme depending on the poet. Many elegy poems are broken up into 3 parts that include rhyme, meter, and structure, while expressing grief, praise, and consolation. Many traditional elegies follow an iambic pentameter of da-dum, 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 with a rhyme scheme which sets the rhythm for the poem. Let's go over some of these elements of poetry. Rhyme is a repetitive pattern of sounds found in a poem. It can be used to reinforce a pattern or rhyme scheme. Some kinds of rhymes you might find in poetry are end rhyme, imperfect rhyme, internal rhyme, masculine rhyme, and feminine rhyme. End rhyme is a common type of rhyme in poetry that occurs when the last word of 2 or more lines rhyme. Imperfect rhyme is a type of rhyme that occurs in words that do not have an identical sound. Internal rhyme occurs in the middle of lines in poetry. Masculine rhyme is a rhyming between stressed syllables at the end of verse lines. Feminine rhyme is a rhyming between unstressed syllables at the end of verse lines. A meter is the pattern of a poem. Poets carefully arrange the words and word parts in their poems to make specific patterns and explain how they want these patterns to be read. Examples of meter are lamb, despair, exclude, repeat, crochet, sister, flower, splinter, dactyl, similar, different, fantastic, anapes, understand, basketball, disgusted, spondy, drumbeat, habit, finish, conflict, and pyrrhic, opposite of spondy. Structure is how the words of a poem are organized. The elements of structure include stanza, verse, and canto. A stanza is a group of lines separated from other groups of lines by a blank line or indentation. A verse is a stanza that doesn't have a specific number of lines, but it all goes together and makes sense. A canto is a pattern that can be found in some medieval poetry and long poems like Dante Alighieri's Commedia, The Divine Comedy, and Edmund Spenser's The Faerie Queene. Let's take a closer look at an elegy written by Lord Tennyson in 1833. This was one of the greatest poems of the Victorian era and was written to commemorate his best friend, Arthur Henry Allen, after his sudden passing. In Memoriam, A.H.H. Dark house, by which once more I stand, here in the long unlovely street. Doors where my heart used to beat, so quickly waiting for a hand that can be clasped no more. Behold me, for I cannot sleep. And like a guilty thing I creep, in earliest morning to the door. He is not here, but far away. The noise of life begins again, and ghastly throw the drizzling rain on the bald street breaks the blank day. Let's take a look at the structure of this poem. This poem is a long structure of an elegy, which includes a grief, praise, and consolation. This elegy follows an iambic pentameter of da-dum, 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 which sets the rhythm. This poet has chosen which lines they want to follow a rhyme scheme. This poet wrote 3 4-line stanzas, the first line rhyming with the last line and the second line rhyming with the third line. Now, I will write my own elegy poem. First, I will need to brainstorm a subject for my elegy. I think I will write about my lost cat. Then, I will need to decide how many stanzas I want to write my elegy poem in. I will write my elegy in 3 stanzas. Next, I will need to decide the rhyme scheme for my elegy. Last, I will need to put my words together for my readers. Let's try it. My lost cat. Sweet bed you once reside, pitter-patter went your feet, soft crunches when you eat, doth scurry to run and hide. How calm thou soft purr hums, when storms do come and go. You never will truly know the calm your sound doth drums. Ease the sorrow within, such is a profound sound. This earth for which you ground, long your cheeky grin. I did it! I wrote an elegy poem about my lost cat while expressing grief, praise, and consolation. I also followed the pentameter of da-dum, 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 da-dum with the rhyme scheme and set the rhythm for my poem. Now it's your turn. First, you will need to brainstorm a subject for your elegy poem. Then, you will need to decide how many stanzas you want to write your elegy poem in. Next, you will need to decide the rhyme scheme for your elegy. Last, you will need to put your words together for your readers. Would you like to learn how you could write any type of poem? Then be sure to check out the next and final video in the series called Writing a Ballad to learn how you can write your own ballad from start to finish. If you like this video, then check out Miss Dorismond's Virtual Corner for even more. If you are a teacher, you can follow Miss Dorismond's Virtual Corner on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and TPT. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching!